Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
Mangwanani, Makasimba here. Takasimba. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy King053, Mr. Easy Imali Enengi, and we're back at it again. And unfortunately, I'm not bringing good news to you guys about the national elections in Zimbabwe currently happening on the 23rd of August, which is today. First of all, we have been having stumbling block after stumbling block. My greatest fears for Zimbabweans has came through. I said in various videos adding up to today that I don't see ZANU-PF playing the fair game. They don't play the ball, they play the man. I said it when they were putting regulation on how people must campaign, when to campaign. Political parties in Zimbabwe had to register to go and campaign. You don't just campaign, you tell us when you're going to campaign, with who. Everything was done in an intimidating way in Zimbabwe. Nelson Chamisa, unfortunately, a popular man of which Zimbabweans are saying they want change. Change meaning they want Nelson. It does not look like he will get anywhere close to gathering votes enough for him to take the presidential seats. We know that Mnangagwa used the army to take out the former president, the great Robert Mugabe. And unfortunately, that's the language that Mnangagwa understands. Mnangagwa is not going to give the presidential seat to Nelson Chamisa while he's still alive. It's simply not going to happen. Zimbabweans, and I've told you guys this, that Zimbabweans are not like other Africans. Zimbabweans are very kind, soft-spoken, hearted people. At least the ones I've met, according to my survey of Zimbabweans, they're not violent people. Because I'm telling you, what has happened in Zimbabwe, if it was to happen in South Africa, Nigeria, Lesotho, Ethiopia, the DRC, if the rubbish that is currently happening in Zimbabwe was to happen in other countries in Africa, Senegal included, there would have been a violent breakout of war and people fighting, people dying, police killing people, soldiers killing people, live bullets being shot, and people dying. People dying. So that is the situation that is happening in Zimbabwe. First of all, voting stations were not ready to open on time. Not ready to open on time. You have a situation where ballot papers are not printed in Harare. Imagine, the capital cities, Bulawayo and Harare, did not have ballot papers to vote for local council. But places that are 300 and 500 kilometers away from the capital cities had ballot papers. Mind you, the ballot papers are being printed in Harare. What type of rubbish is this? Why is ZANU-PF doing this? When is our people going to get a free handshake, a fair handshake from the government of Zimbabwe? Something needs to happen. Niger took things into their own hands. Burkina Faso took things into their own hands. Mali took things into their own hands. It is time for a radical change, a revolutionary change that is going to require blood on the floor. And I'm not a person that encourages or wants people to die, but anyway, this is what must happen for Mnangagwa to be removed. Mnangagwa is eating with the gold and the minerals of Zimbabwe. He's eating with Saudi Arabia. He's eating with Dubai. We saw on the gold mafia episodes from Al Jazeera, how the Zimbabwean government benefits and enrich themselves. We heard them speaking live with their own voice. Some, like the Minister of the Minerals, were caught on camera speaking rubbish. But today, Zimbabweans are not allowed to vote for the person they want. Let's just quickly listen to one journalist from Zimbabwe speaking to a South African broadcasting channel and informing us as to what the hell is happening in Zim.
Polling stations not open. Those that are opened late. Shortage of ballot papers. Some are leaving angry. Some are coming back. Some may not even come back. Very little communication. Is there, in your view, undisputable correlation between those kinds of events that we are seeing at voting stations, the delays, and the support base of either ZANU-PF or the Triple C?
This election has been nothing but shambolic, an embarrassment to not only Zimbabwe, but to the region, because the international community is watching what's happening in Zimbabwe. People came to their polling stations, especially those in urban areas, in areas that are very close to the center of power, and they didn't have ballot papers, so they did not vote. Some people in urban areas, up to now as I'm speaking to you, have not started voting. And yet the Zimbabwe Election Commission was able to deliver ballot papers in ZANU-PF strongholds, which are 300, 400, 500 kilometers away from Harare. This shortage of ballot papers, or not having ballot papers at all, has happened mainly in the opposition strongholds of Harare and Bulawayo. The second aspect is that the ZANU-PF officials, working together with an underground secret service organization called FAS, have been putting desks around polling stations next to the polling station door and collecting names and ID numbers of people that are going in to vote, especially in rural areas. This is meant to intimidate people. They are being told that if you vote for the opposition, we will know because we have captured your ID number, we have captured your name, we know the sequence in terms of who went in first and who went after the first person and so forth. And so this, by any standard, remote standard, it's not a free, fair, and credible election. The third aspect is that a lot of citizens who live in urban areas, which are strongholds of the opposition, have been going to the polling stations and they've not found their names there. Some of them are even prominent members of civil society. They've gone there and they've not found their names there. So it has been a shambolic election, and it's one that is going to have a disputed election result. And when that happens, we know that it will be 5 years of back and forth fighting between the opposition and the ruling party. And it will have huge ramifications within the region.
It's so heartbreaking, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so heartbroken, but it's something that was expected. You know, Mnangagwa is an evil man, according to me. Mnangagwa is not going to let go of this power. These people are used by the thirst for richness by all means. Nothing is improving in Zimbabwe. The health system is not improving. The educational system is not improving. The roads are as bad as you can imagine. Traveling in Zimbabwe is hell. You know, and nothing in Zimbabwe is improving for the people of Zimbabwe. Only those who are within the ranks of ZANU-PF are getting actually something to say they are making a proper living. They are dealing with gold. All the members of parliament in ZANU-PF are eating and those good ones that are there are overpowered by the greed of making money by all means by the rest of the cabinet. It's crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to lie to you. What we are seeing in Zimbabwe, we're going to get what you call a result that is going to be disputed, and that dispute is not going to matter because Nelson Chamisa does not have the army to overthrow the current president. He does not have anything. And that is why I'm saying when we have a united nation of Africa, we will be able to sort this out. The president of Zambia, Malawi, South Africa, Mozambique, and the presidents around the SADC area will be able to tell Nelson Chamisa that what you are doing is wrong. We are going to run the elections. This is the way we're going to do things. And if the people want to vote for you, they will vote for you in a proper way. Unfortunately, you see them using intimidating tactics, going to voting polls, taking people's name and ID numbers, intimidating them that if Triple C was to win this area, it means you voted for that person. We're going to deal with you. That is what is happening. Electricity shutting down during voting hours. I mean, what is that? What on earth is that? It's so heartbreaking, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to do. If you are in Zimbabwe, just tell us why is it that you Zimbabweans are not radical enough to challenge the government? Or is it because they've got bullets and you don't? I think sometime someone has to die for someone to wake up, or someone has to die for someone to fall. If you understand what I'm saying, I mean, it's very heartbreaking to see what is happening in Zimbabwe. The people of Zimbabwe, they tried by all means to say they want to vote for the president of their choice, and I don't have a problem with people voting for ZANU-PF. They've got a right, but please allow the other people who want to vote the other way around to vote the other way around. That is all. Just looking at the scenes in Zimbabwe, for me, it broke my heart. Just covering this news to see that we are not going to get a fair result, and who fooled us? I said to you, South Africans who think next year it's possible that the ANC might drop underneath 50%. This is a warning. This is a warning. Once the IEC announced that electronical election commission IEC announced that ANC has won or ZANU-PF can won, you can go to court and dispute and try to argue, but the president will be chosen. The ruling party will be chosen. And I'm afraid to tell us South Africans that unfortunately, this is what awaits us in 2024. This is what awaits us. You can go and vote for DA. You can go vote for the multi-party, whatever. You can go and vote for the EFF. ANC will emerge winners in 2024 election. I don't have hope in politicians treating elections as a free and fair practice. It's not going to happen. Not in Zimbabwe, not in South Africa, not anywhere in Africa. These people are eating with you don't have an idea how many people are eating with the government. You don't have a clue how many countries, how many presidents, how many people are involved. Families, rich families are involved in looting the minerals of each country in Africa. You don't have a clue. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. Zimbabwe, ZANU-PF, we can just not congratulate, but let's just accept that Mnangagwa is the president again. Let's accept it. For the next 5 years, that's what is going to happen. That is exactly what is going to happen. Mnangagwa is the president. That old useless man will continue looting Zimbabweans until someone wakes up and say, I'm willing to die and I'm going to open a regime, a Jupiter regime, an army, and fight these people, gun for gun, bullet for bullet. If there's no one that's going to do that, forget about forget about taking power from Mnangagwa. He took power the same way that I'm suggesting the power must be taken from him. So it's tick for tat, you know. So until next time, guys, I'll see if I'll do another video today. Don't forget to pray, subscribe. If you are from Zimbabwe, please go in the comment section. Tell us how was your experience, what is going on there. And I see now everything it's I see Zimbabweans are losing hope in the government. I just hope something is going to ignite them for them to fight, because this thing is not fair. Really, it's not fair. Until next time, don't forget to pray, and just know your boy King 053 Easy Money salutes you.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, leave your thoughts on the comment section and hit the like and subscribe button, and we will meet on the next one.